Britain has backed moves to expel North Korean workers from the European Union as part of fresh sanctions to punish Pyongyang after its latest nuclear test. Foreign Minister Borish Johnson has said that there was wide measure of agreement among EU counterparts to forge ahead with these new measures against Kim Jong-un's regime after it carried out the sixth and most powerful nuclear test on Sunday. Washington is pushing for a UN Security Council vote on a resolution calling for tough new measures on the North, including an oil embargo, an asset freeze on Kim Jong-un, and an end to payments of North Korean guest workers. Johnson has said talks with his EU counterparts in Tallinn on Thursday had produced a very wide measure of agreement on the need to do more to pile pressure on Pyongyang to abandon its nuclear program. All right, in fact, Mandy Clark, our London Bureau Chief, is joining me live for more on this. Mandy, can you tell us a bit more about how Britain is now backing this move to expel North Korean workers from the EU?
Yes, well, the thinking behind this move is really how North Korea gets its money. A lot of the North Korean workers make money in the European Union and Britain, but the vast majority of these workers are actually in Poland. But what they do is they don't spend the money within the country, they send it back to North Korea. So it's really just cutting down any revenues for North Korea to have. That's the thinking behind why they don't even want these workers in the country to make it even more difficult. The vast majority of those remittance payments that come through do come through North Korean workers working in China and Russia, but if they can stem any money that's coming from Europe, that's what they plan to do.
Right. Also in general, Mandy, give us a sense of what Theresa May and her government has been saying as far as defiant North Korea is concerned, especially after the latest and more deadly test that it carried out last Sunday.
They are taking a strong line, but they really want to focus on sanctions, on using the UN Security Council. They really want to discourage any talk of military action. It was pointed out to the British government that Pyongyang is closer to London than it is to Los Angeles, so the threat, although the war of words are between Pyongyang and the U.S., there's a lot of countries that could be caught up in this. If it goes to war, it would. London is doing everything it can to discourage that action. Borish Johnson said a few days ago, if there was a military action on Pyongyang, Seoul, the capital of North Korea, could be vaporized. There are millions of people living there. It's just not the way certainly the UK wants it to go forward. They want it de-escalated through sanctions, and they want to calm down the situation as much as possible. They're really also calling on China to do more, since 90% of the trade with North Korea happens through China. They believe they are in a unique position to pull those power levers.
All right, Mandy Clark, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us.